Hey everyone, what we're going to do today is something different. This is going to be an ultra finesse jig, similar to what is on the Japanese domestic market or JDM. You see things like the Kitech uh, spin jigs and stuff. We're going to do something similar to that. It's going to look like that, pretty much. Um, 42 strands. They're very, very effective. So let's get started here. In the vise we have a 1/8 ounce jig. It's a round head with a size 1 uh, Eagle Claw Black Platinum Little Nasty jig hook. Uh, Very similar to the Matsuo sickle hook. Wicked sharp. Very, very good hook for this kind of jig. We're going to use 210 denier flat wax nylon thread, as I do with all my bass jigs. We get our base started. Very easy jig to tie. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a full tab of this. The color on this head is called watermelon pepper, and this color here is actually watermelon magic craw Dalmatian, and it's a watermelon with black spots, and it has a blue tint to it when the light hits it in certain directions. And we're going to put this on it. It's maybe 50-50. Right in the middle is where we want to start tying it. And we're just going to make one complete revolution and work the silicone around. Once we get it around, just pull a little bit and make one more. Not quite there. And the reason I want it all the way around is because it's going to use 2 tabs, and I want the colors to blend. Because I'm going to use, for the second color on this particular pattern, it's called Moneymaker Dalmatian, which is a watermelon with these black spots on it. It's a little darker than a normal watermelon color. Uh, this goes really nice with this watermelon magic. So we're going to do the same thing. Complete revolution. And then we're going to work now that it's worked around. I'm going to pull tight. And as you've seen, what I forgot to mention was I cut a groove on the collar of this jig. It's going to do 2 things. Number one, it's going to let me pull this tighter to get a little more flare on the skirt material. And the other thing it's going to do is catch the thread that it doesn't slide down the collar. So now we got that started. We got it tight. We're going to make a couple wraps. And make these wraps tight. You don't want them tight that it's going to break it or cut the silicone, but you want it tight enough that it pulls the silicone. You'll see it'll start lifting up at the collar, that you basically have to use the other hand and pull it down like this. Now I'm going to fill in the rest of that groove I cut by working my way down the collar. And we're down the collar. Now I'm going to go back up right to the base of the head, and I'm still making these wraps very tight. Now the last thing we're going to do after we get the collar established is some flash. I like flash on these types of jigs. I like them on all my jigs basically. The flash I'm using on this color is called Ghost Pearl. And the length on it, a little bit past the hook. You can go longer, you can go shorter, all depends on what kind of effect you want. You can add more. That, for me, that's good. Just the 2 strands on each side. And once I get that, I'm just going to make a couple wraps to secure the flash. And now we're going to whip finish it. When you whip finish this, because all this hang, to basically push the excess through. Six. Pull it tight. Again, one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Pull it tight. Trim it close. And we're going to do our head cement. On these types of jigs, silicone, I like using Loctite super glue brush on. The Loctite glue it's strong, but it's thin, and it really penetrates the threads. And the reason I like the super glue over head cement or Sally Hansen's when I'm working with silicone is the residue. Sally Hansen's and other head cements that I've tried leave a white residue when they dry on the silicone. I don't care for that. I don't like the way it looks. It doesn't hurt anything, and I'm not good enough to get it on the collar without getting some on the silicone. Now that we have that, the important part, trimming. This is where we're going to get our look. Now, what I like to use a bigger scissors to trim a whole lot. For the bottom, I like it to be about a hook shank past the hook. And the top, about a half a jig. And there you have it. Now, it doesn't look like much there, but what we're going to do is we take these and we pull them back on the top. What's nice is you can, if you trim it too short, they'll stick up. If you leave them too long, they'll hang down too far. You want it to sort of flare out like a palm tree. The reason why is when it falls, it'll kick in the back as it's going down. You get a lot of bites because of that action. So let's see what we got here. There you have it, with just that little bit of flash. Take a Fluke Junior or save your Flukes that are all beat up instead of throwing them away. And what you do is you take them, you cut the tail off, and you thread those on for a little trailer. Ooh, 6 or 8 pound line around boat docks. When it's tough in the summertime, this jig will get them. Believe me, give it a try and let me know how you do. Thanks for watching.